Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen James, the channel that brings you your team every single day, guys. Right, look, it is another huge week for Rangers FC as we move on. We're going to put behind the debacle of Dundee United at the weekend. We're going to try and put behind us the absolute chuckle brother that is Philippe Clement. He's like the less funny chuckle brother. We're going to look ahead to this week. We're going to talk a little bit, obviously, about the whole rumour mill that went off yesterday. We'll talk as well about the upcoming week and how, if Philippe Clement actually wants to save his job, if he actually wants to keep his job, what he needs to do, what he actually needs to do to save his job. Because there's things he can do. Yes, I think it probably is too far gone now. He probably is dead man walking until the new CEO actually comes in and can actually sack him, or the new chairman, or whoever wants to take the decision. But I still feel that there's things he can do to make his life a little bit easier. We're going to talk about that as well. Now, obviously, yesterday there was the whole debacle over he's getting sacked, he's leaving, and then he's not, and it's a load of rubbish. And we heard all of that yesterday, didn't we? We heard all of that yesterday. We really did. We heard, of course, the rumour going round that it was apparently the board meeting had taken place and Philippe Clement was present at this board meeting, and then suddenly he was leaving by mutual consent, and everybody got really happy, everybody got really excited, and then within about an hour's time, Rangers Review had kind of dissed it and dismissed it and said that it was a load of rubbish, that senior sources inside the club had said that it wasn't true at all, and there was no board meeting because John Gilligan was out of the country. And a number of other board members were out of the country, so there was definitely no board meeting, and Clement would be staying in place. And I think at that point then the excitement turned to disappointment, and then disappointment turned to anger. And, reading a lot of comments on social media, and I know social media is not always the best place to look. There was a lot of very, very strongly worded comments about the board being spineless, about them being gutless, about them being happy with mediocrity, about how much longer can they allow this to last, how much longer can they allow this man to stay in position. I've got to say, I agree with all of that. I really genuinely do agree with all of that. His record is shocking, and it's been as it's been said on Heart and Hand, on Club at 22, Rangers Review, at Four Lads, all of them. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. It really is getting worse. Absolutely getting worse. It's not good at all. It isn't good at all. I mean, a stat that I saw here was, where was this stat I saw? Here we go. In the last 35 games in all competitions, this is all competitions, right? This is not just the league. This is Cup, Europa League, everything. Okay, so we've played 35 games, right? We have, in that time, we have won only 17 of them. So we've won less than half of our games. Less than half of our games. Okay, so that's pretty poor, isn't it? That's pretty shocking. It really genuinely is. So that's shocking. Now, out of those 35 games, we've lost 10 of them. We've drawn 8, and that gives him a 48% win ratio. 48%. Now, I'm sorry, but for a Rangers manager, that is unacceptable. That is absolutely shocking. Played 35, won 17, lost 10. I mean, how often do you see that in a equivalent of what is a season's worth of games? A Rangers manager with a double-digit loss. Drawn 8, 48% win ratio. That is a disaster. That is an absolute disaster waiting to happen. It really genuinely is a disaster waiting to happen. So look, for me, he is dead man walking. He has to go, and he has to be sacked sooner rather than later. He really genuinely does. Now, it's on a knife edge. It's on a massive knife edge. We've got 2 huge games this week. Thursday night, 8 o'clock. We'll live stream here on the channel. Come and join us. It is Nice versus Rangers in the south of France. I mean, look, it would be just so Rangers to go down there and beat Nice, wouldn't it, in Europe, and paper over the cracks, and everyone would suddenly, all is forgiven. Philippe Clement's the greatest manager ever. He's a tactical genius. We won a game. Well done. Congratulations. That would be a very Rangersy thing to do, wouldn't it? I mean, realistically, on paper, we shouldn't have a chance. Leon's squad's worth over 200 million. Ours is worth 80 million. There shouldn't even be a competition there. But we know that we are slightly better set up to play in Europe. We do better in Europe. So maybe there's something there in that. I mean, obviously, the one thing you've all got to think about, and I'm going to talk about a possible team for this later on in the video. One thing I am going to mention is you've got to remember that Hadji can't play and Danilo can't play because neither of them are in the European squad. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? So you're stuck probably with Dessers again, for fuck's sake. Dessers, who was... I mean, I saw some stats on Dessers from the first half in the Dundee United game. 3 aerial duels, 4 none, 1. I think he had 8 duels altogether against his defenders, lost every single one of them. He was appalling on Saturday. He genuinely was. The guy shouldn't play again for Rangers. St Johnstone Rangers then on the Sunday in the Premiership, 12 o'clock kickoff at St Johnstone. I mean, that'll be a fight. You know, I can honestly, you know what, if I'm being wholly honest with you, I could see us beating Nice, losing to St Johnstone. I genuinely could, because that's where this team's at the moment. It really is. And the football is just appalling. This is one of the worst Rangers teams I have ever seen in my entire life. It really is. And people talk about that second half against Dundee. Oh, we played well. We dominated the game. We were playing Dundee, who weren't even trying to actually attack. Just gave us all the ball. So it's not really a very valid statement, is it? If you're sat there saying, oh, Clement's right. You know, if we play like we did second half, you know, if we play that calibre of football, we're going to win a lot of games. Yeah, but we're not going to play that calibre of football because we're not going to be just given the ball and the opposition's not going to try. I think you're seriously deluded if you think that, if I'm being honest with you. I think you're actually living in cloud cuckoo land and you need to give yourself a little bit of a slap around the face and wake up a little bit. Look, can Clement save his job? Probably not. Probably not. At this point, there's probably no comeback for him. You know, he's probably he's burnt all his bridges with the fans. I think a lot of the players have down tools. And another manager, Tav, can put us another notch on his bedhead that he's got rid of. Well done, Tav. Another manager you've got sacked. Look, what can he do? What can Clement do? Well, I think Clement can do a number of things to try and save his job. He can perhaps try to be a bit more tactically flexible, try different things, try different shapes, different formations, different ideas. You know, try and be a little bit more creative, not be so married into one system. I think he can permanently drop James Tavernier. I think that would be a major step forward. I mean, look, you and I know he will start on Thursday night against Nice. Of course he is going to start on Thursday night against Nice, and he's going to get ripped a new one. So, I mean, I really hope that Clement isn't so stupid as to play Tavernier on Thursday night. If Clement starts Tavernier on Thursday night, it's like he's asking to be sacked. It's like he's saying, please sack me, I'm a shit manager, because I don't know what a good football looks like. Not play Dessers on Thursday night, and that will be a major step forward. Dessers is absolutely useless, absolutely hopeless. Look at his performance first half, look at his stats first half. So for me, not start Dessers. That's the big step forward. Now, he can't start Danilo, he can't start Hadji, unfortunately, because they're not in the European squad. Give the youth a chance. We're basically through in Europe anyway. No one expects us to get a result in Nice on Thursday night. Give some of the young players a chance. Put some of the young players in there, because I'm going to tell you this, they won't let you down. They'll probably fight twice as hard as well. And I guarantee that someone like Zach Lovelace up front will look a lot better than Cyril Dessers, because he'll learn from it and he'll fight twice as hard as Dessers. Now, these 3 guys are young players I would love to see get the chance to actually play on Thursday night from the start against Nice, and certainly as well play a part in the St Johnstone game as well. Finlay Curtis on one of the wings. We haven't got a left winger at this moment in time. There is no left winger fit. Bayrami is not a left winger. That's another point. Play players in their right positions, Philippe. Don't play players out of position. It doesn't work. You ruined Fabio Silva last season. You're now ruining Bayrami. Stop it. Just plain stop it. So play Finlay Curtis on one of the wings. Finlay Curtis, great stats, promising young player, talent, quality. He will try. He'll try his heart out. Play Bailey Rice as a 6. Put Bailey Rice into one of those 2 holding roles in the midfield. You won't. You'll play Raskin and Barron, but play Rice. Give Rice a chance. He's a good footballer. He uses the ball well. He is a number 6. Rangers are crying out for a number 6. We've got one. Why not use him? And Zach Lovelace, start him. Play him from the start. Start him up top. Give him a chance to play in his proper position. The guy's fast. He'll worry the Nice defence. He can run in behind them. Dessers has no pace. Dessers has all the pace of a 3-legged cart horse. Play Lovelace. He's got pace in behind. He's got pace to burn. This team has no pace. Finlay Curtis, Zach Lovelace will bring pace to this team. We have no pace. Those 2 bring pace. Lovelace will be a threat in behind. He'll work the channels. He'll be more mobile than Dessers. Dessers had 8 touches in the first half. Okay, Danilo had 23. Why did Danilo have more? Because he went looking for the ball. Because he didn't just stand up there like some spare part, like some spare dick at a wedding, and wait for something to happen. He went to look and he went to make it happen, something Dessers doesn't do. Lovelace will do the same. For me, I want to see big change. I want to see changes. I want to see this on Thursday night. I won't see this. What I'll see is Tav at right back, Dessers up top, Bayrami on the left, Diomande in the 10. And Diomande on Saturday, and I've backed Diomande, was absolutely shocking. Butland in goal, obviously, captain for me as well. And if he brings Tav on, Tav doesn't take the armband. Butland keeps the armband. I think that's pathetic when Tav comes on and has to have his armband back. It's ridiculous. Back four, Sterling, Suter. Balogun comes in for Proper for me. I thought Proper was poor on Saturday again. Looked nervous, didn't use the ball well, got caught out for the goal, was just plain poor. Ridvan in at left back. I thought Hjefte had a poor game Saturday. Get Ridvan back in there for me. Bailey Rice and Connor Barron as Bailey Rice in that kind of six role. Barron and Bayrami in front of him. Give Barron a bit more license to get forward. He'll go box to box. Give Bayrami the ability to influence the game from the middle of the pitch where he's more effective. If you look at Saturday's game, when Bayrami was more effective, and he should never have been taken off. He should have taken one of Baron or Raskin off, one of our defensive players, to attack more. That made no sense to me. Bayrami in the middle. He was more effective when he drifted into the middle, when he created from the middle. He had some shots from the middle. He actually played well when he got into the middle. Finley Curtis on the left, because like I said, we don't have a left winger. Matondo's injured and Cortez is injured. Get Curtis out there. He's a wide player. He can play out there. He assists. He scores goals. Cheney on the right. I thought Cheney had a good game. He was my man of the match on Saturday. And put Zach Lovelace up top. I do not want to see Cyril the cart horse Dessers up top. If we see him up top, it is like playing with a man down. You know, Rangers fans who say that Dessers is a good footballer, wake up, wake up. Dessers is awful. The man, he can't trap the ball. He can't hold the ball up. So because he can't hold the ball up, we can't get out. He can't run the channels because he's not fast enough. He can't stretch the defence because he's not fast enough. His movement's poor. He can't stay on side. Lovelace can do all those things. He can work the channels. He's got pace. You know, he can stay on side. He can take a player on. He can win the ball in the air. He can do all the things that Dessers can't. Lovelace is already a better player than Cyril Dessers. Okay, I'm not being funny. My mum is a better player than Cyril Dessers. So for, you know, if he starts Dessers on Thursday night, which he will, it's like he's almost saying, "Sack me. I haven't learnt. I'm not learning." I mean, not Arnold Schwarzenegger, not even him. Albert Einstein even said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Philippe Clement is insane because he does the same thing over and over and over again and expects a different result. You know, I thought Stevie Clifford asked a great question in the press conference the other day, and I'm really sorry to Four Lads for that comment I made the other day about Four Lads it was disgusting, it was out of order, and I do apologise. But, you know, at the end of the day, a great question about, you know, are you getting your team selections wrong? Because why are we playing better second half when you suddenly make changes at half time? And he was bang on with that question. He is. And Clement waffled his way through it and gave a whole bullshit answer that like he normally does. I mean, I'm getting to the point now where I won't actually even listen to his pre-match and post-match interviews because it's the same bullshit every time. I mean, the guy is just an absolute joke. He's a clown, a real clown. He really is. And anyone saying give him more time, you're living in cloud cuckoo land. You really are living in cloud cuckoo land if you think he's going to make any difference. If you give him 3 years, all it'll mean is Rangers are a mid-table team by the third season. We're finishing 6th, 7th, 8th most seasons with him as our manager. You know, I really believe that. Genuinely believe that. Right, guys, let me know what you think. Look, it's a big week. It's a massive week. It's on a knife edge. You know, 2 defeats this week, and I think it really does become untenable. I mean, my personal opinion, if you ask me now, when does he go? I think he survives to the cup final. I think we lose the cup final to Celtic, and then the noise gets so loud and so incessant the board can no longer ignore it, and that's when he goes. I really feel that's the situation. Or maybe he's a man. Maybe maybe he actually shows himself up to be a man and actually puts his resignation in and stands down and realises it isn't working. It's not good for him. It's not good for us. Maybe he does that. I don't know. I doubt it. But you know, hey. Right, guys, let me know what you think of what we've covered in the video. Let me know in your comments, guys. We had a phenomenal weekend. Brilliant views, brilliant support. Sub numbers have gone right up again. Thank you so much for your support. As always, guys, please hit the sub, smash the like, drop a comment, do a share, do all those great things. Thank you for watching. As always, guys, on the way out, remember, please never forget, we're one Rangers family and we are the people.